I'm Carl Reuter, and welcome to the Stony Brook Sports Report. Here with Andy Ronan, cross-country coach for both the men and women. And Andy, I got time to celebrate, I guess, back-to-back America East championships for the women's program.
Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic last week to be able to defend our title against a pretty good BU team. I think it's harder to win the second one.
Just going to ask you that, yeah.
Yeah, the pressure is there, and not from just outside, but from the kids themselves. You know, it's their hardware, and they wanted to keep it.
All right, let's talk about sophomore Holly Van Dalen. She took second.
Holly, sophomore, obviously has taken a huge step. She had a great spring last year, which showed me that she could potentially be the leader of this team, and she's done it from the beginning of the season. Not only here in the America East, but also at the Notre Dame Invitational back in October. And I still think she has another step to go.
All right, now we're not seeing double when we see her twin sister Lucy out there. She finished fifth. And talk about the team captain, junior Laura Huey. She also was in there and took third place.
I'll go to Lucy first. Lucy, I sometimes get mixed up on the course myself, but they're never too far apart. And Lucy's a great competitor, probably better on the track than cross country, but she's a great role player for us at number 3. Laura, team captain, had a captain's run last week. You know, we had some sickness and some injuries going into the championship, and we needed her to step up, and she did. She brought the team on her back and had a great performance herself, finishing third.
And, you know, we mentioned the back-to-back America East championships. Were you expecting the women to do as well as they did in winning this championship, or did you think maybe this wasn't going to be a year where we could defend that title?
No, I felt from day one and from the end of the season last year that we can defend our title. The core of the group is young; they were back, so I felt confident if we could stay healthy and come back in good shape in August that we would have a great chance.
All right, a little bit on the men. We'll talk some sophomore, and I'm going to put these glasses on so we don't mess anything up. Tim Hodge was the individual title, second straight year. Stony Brook Runner has done that. Talk about that achievement.
Fantastic. Yeah. I mean, Tim and Alex, I felt before the race were the class of the field, and the instruction was go take care of business. And they went away early, and it came down to a man-to-man among those two guys, and they ran hard to the line, and Tim just got the nod. And
when you say Alex, we're talking about Alex Felci. I mean, he's just been phenomenal for your program, hasn't he?
Absolutely. He's the one, over the last 12 months has brought Tim up to another level also, and the other guys on the team.
Do you like that competition within, not so much competition, but how one person can bring another person to another level?
Oh, I think you need it in our sport in particular, and you need to have the guys working against each other and with each other on a daily basis, and I think it brings the best out.
What's it been like now with these back-to-back America East championships? Because it did take you a while to win, and now all of a sudden you go back-to-back. So what was the formula for success the last couple of years?
Oh, I think it just every year we got better. We came in here 8 years ago, and we had to start from scratch. And I think consistency is the key. And over the years we got up to third, and then we were second for a few years. Now we've taken that step, and I think success breeds success in this sport. And I think it's just been over 8 years it has evolved this way.
And it's got to make it easier now because recruiting-wise, people say, well, let's go to a championship team. I mean, they've won it. Why not go run there?
Yes, it opens up more doors for us. It's still a battle, but now because you're going up against bigger schools than we were in the past. Before it might be local schools, but now we're on a national level and we're competing against the Michigans and the Stanfords and those for the same individuals.
As it bounced back and forth, the women's team was ranked as high as 12th in the national polls, consistently in the top 25 all season long. That's got to make you proud too, just as much as winning that America East championship.
Absolutely, that's why I came here. We wanted to build a national Division I program, and we're on our way to doing that. We still have ways to go. It was fantastic to be ranked 12th early in the season, but reality-wise, I think we are at 20 to 25 team in the nation. Where 6-7 years ago we were probably 80th, so it's a big step.
Andy, when you say we still have a ways to go, you've achieved so much success. What does the ways to go mean for you?
Well, we've got to consistently be going to the NCAAs to compete at that level. We want to develop a streak here that we are going to NCAAs at least 2-3 years in a row. And my ambitions for the program go beyond being top 20. We want to be top 10 eventually.
All right, regionals, nationals coming up, expectations, are they high for you?
They're very high for us. I mean, we've been the #1 team in the region all season. We were there not last year. We want to go back. We've got 3 great teams chasing us, like Providence College, Boston College, and Syracuse. There's going to be nothing in the race. I mean, there's going to be 10, 15 point spread probably between 2, 3 teams. What we have in our favour this year, I hope, is that the top 2 automatically go. We had to do that last year, but there's also 13 teams picked at large. We have points against other teams from around the country this year that will hopefully get us in that large selection if we don't get in the top 2.
Do the men and women like the challenge of having that bullseye when you are like #1 in the region? Do they like that challenge of, all right, everyone's chasing us and we're going to stay one step ahead of them?
Well, it's a different role for them now, obviously. But I honestly believe if an athlete is coming into a Division I program, no matter what the sport is, they have already made that decision. They want to be a part of that, and they look forward to that challenge.
All right, the coaching staff was named the America East Women's Cross Country Staff of the Year for the 4th straight season. How proud of you are you of that?
It's great to be recognized by your peers. You know, $20 here, $20 there pays off eventually at the end of the season. But, you know, overall, you know, it's great to be recognized, and it's great for the program, and it's great for, you know, recruiting. It's great for the kids on the team.
When you walk around, you know, your peers recognize you, and the talk is, hey, wow, you're doing something special over there. I mean, is that just as special for your coaching staff to be named 4 years in a row, just as it is to win the championship 2 years in a row? I mean, when you look at it that way?
I think it's far more important that the team is successful. You know, the Coach of the Year stuff, Staff of the Year stuff is great, but at the end of the day, it's about the student athletes, and we want them to be successful, and we want them to be able to reach the goals they came in here and they set for themselves.
The grind of the student athlete continues here because academically Stony Brook is very, very challenging, and you continue to get the best people in here, both on the men's side and the women's side. Recruiting is always a process, isn't it?
Never ending. It's 24/7, 365 days a year, and as you get better, it doesn't get easier. You know, you go into a different pool of athletes and students, and you go up against different schools, so it's a never-ending process.
Is that why when you get better in climbing, as Stony Brook does, now you're going against even the more elite people to try to get them into the university? Is that what you're translating to me?
Exactly. You know, you're going it's a different level, you know, and we've got another 2 levels to go, I think, to be a real successful at Division I, and that means getting to the top 10 in the country.
And you continue to search the globe, don't you, for the best available talent? Are you still getting phone calls from overseas and down under and wherever? I mean, do you have your so-called scouts all over the place, and they say, hey, Andy, this man, this woman can really do some great things for you?
I've been fortunate that over the years I've developed some great contacts overseas, but I think more importantly what has happened for us is the kids that took a chance to come here in the beginning did well academically, did well athletically. They have gone home and they said, you should take a look at this program, and so that continues.
I always ask coaches what they learn and what they try to do better. What have you tried to do better in the years that you've been now the cross-country coach here?
Every year you have to reevaluate your program, and I think a lot of it depends on the athlete coming in. You never experience everything. Every day is a new challenge, and so I've opened up my mind to that you have to continuously learn. I've talked to other coaches, you know, I've talked to other athletes, and you take little bits and pieces and you try to put it into your program to make it more successful. Andy
Ronan, it's always fun talking men's and women's Stony Brook cross country. Thanks so much for your time.
Great to be here.
That's our show for today. We'll see you next time on the Stony Brook Sports Report.